episode 10.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome
Good morning.
back.
Kaki and I have this new thing where we don't talk in the morning so that when we sit down to record our podcast, it's a fresh conversation.
No. So I drive like 30 minutes in the morning to get here because of traffic, even though I'm only 2 towns over. It was fine this morning, but I always call Lauren in the morning when I'm in the car anytime. When I leave work,
it's my
in
rule.
the morning, whatever it is, I always call Lauren. And these mornings before the podcast, it's very hard not to call you.
Because I feel like you would call and then we'd have funny conversations and I would think like, oh, that'd be good for the podcast. So just want to minimize the conversation. So when we sit down, it's our first conversation of the day. So we're on episode 10 and I believe this will come out next week on Monday, the 20th.
The 20th, which is Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King Day. So you might not have school or work. And we're going to call it, Are We Fooling the System? So we'll get into that after we talk about our normal things that we talk about at the beginning of every episode. So first I want to kick off by just saying that I have not been able to stop thinking about the fires in LA.
I know.
It's so upsetting. I have good friends that have been impacted. And we keep hearing over DM on Instagram, texts. I just got another text from a friend whose friend lost everything. And can we send them Dudley Stevens? And we are sending them Dudley Stevens. So we're sending individual packages. We sent a large donation yesterday to Zibby's bookshop in Santa Monica. So that should be getting there by this weekend, hopefully. And they'll be giving that out to anybody who's been impacted. So
it's kind of just making you take a step back and think about, I don't know, I keep seeing stuff on Instagram, even though I only spend an hour a day, I'm still doing that, guys.
Oh, good. Okay. Sticking to the resolution.
Sticking to it. Yep. But what would you grab before you left your house?
I know.
And I kind of want to put a to-go pack together because you never know what could happen.
I know. I think I mentioned on the last episode that we had a flood in our basement and Graham and I lost some childhood things. Yeah. And we didn't even grab anything because we didn't know how much the water would go up.
Right.
And so, some people didn't even know their house was going to burn down. So they just left because they were scared and then they didn't grab it. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah. It's awful. And then not only, our basement was flooded, it was fine, but the whole, just everything gone.
The memories. Yeah. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Can't even, speechless, but
no, exactly.
We've sent some comfy fleece, which hopefully will help a few people
a little comfort.
Get through this terrible time and provide some comfort to them. So we're thinking about you and hope everything is okay.
Getting under control,
hopefully.
Under control,
yes.
Not back to normal. It's going to take a long time, but but feeling some sort of normalcy, hopefully, on the horizon. And we also donated to the LA Firefighters Foundation. So I feel like we'll probably keep donating too. So, we'll see if people reach out because I keep getting messages and I feel like sending those one-offs means a lot.
So definitely.
Okay. So we had a drop yesterday. And what was the bestseller was what I'm wearing.
Catalina jacket. Guys. Surprise, surprise. Lauren's been wearing it constantly and she's wearing it again.
Just nonstop at this point. And I
like
absolutely
the black.
love it.
Your whole fit today.
Thanks. I'm very color coordinated.
Are those the Melrose?
Oh yeah, and I'm wearing the Melrose pants,
which also dropped this week.
Yes. Did you get them yet? Did you order them?
I ordered them. Okay, I haven't gotten them. Okay. Again, Lauren gets everything
early. I got the samples. I know. Sorry. They're very comfortable, and I'm wearing them with boots today. Yeah, dressed up a little bit. So,
I love it. Good for travel with sneakers. Good for work with boots.
And they work with sneakers and boots for me. I maybe like sneakers with a little bit of not a heel, but
also feel like they're elastic waist, so you can either pull them up to wear with sneakers so they're a little shorter, or pull them
down a little bit so they're a little bit longer with boots. That's true. Yeah. And they are slightly high-waisted, so they're very comfortable, and they feel very secure. They're not like wearing leggings. It's comfortable and
I can't wait to get them.
Yeah. And usually I wear jeans every day, so it's just nice to have something to mix it up. Anyway, so that was
Catalina,
was this color the bestseller?
No, in the gray.
Oh, the gray was the bestseller.
Yeah.
Oh,
which you've been wearing a lot.
I have. I've been wearing both.
It's good with jeans, good with black pants.
Yeah,
good, I don't know.
And we're already brainstorming what other colors we can make it in for fall and even next spring. We're definitely bringing it back because I think it will continue to sell well once people get their hands on it and spread the word, which is what really works for our brand is when ladies talk about it.
Yes.
So anyway, so that was the drop yesterday. Okay. we have two things also coming up for Dudley Stephens. The first one is a massive sale that we are starting today.
Well,
but it will
last
keep
week when this drops.
It was when this drops, it will have already started, but we are going to keep it up for a while because we are trying to clear out stuff that we're going to kind of update and restock for fall. So, so that's a big one. So if you're hearing this and you haven't shopped it yet, go check it out and try to help us clear out.
It'll be all of our turtlenecks. So the Cobble Hill, Park Slope, Greenpoint, which is what we refer to as our gateway drug into our brand. So if you have a friend that you need a gift for, or
you haven't tried it yet, most people have that are probably listening to this.
Now's your turn to try it for cheaper than
it normally is. Yes. And then our next drop will be on January 28th. And we have our Park Slope in First Blush, which is our new pinky color in waffle. Our puff sleeve Sabrina 3/4 zip in cream, which is super cute. Our Cobble Hill is coming back also in our tricolor, the new tricolor, and that will be in First Blush cream and black in terry.
Oh, I love that. You put that on yesterday.
I put that on yesterday. It's really great.
Really cool.
And then our Park Slope in terry cream with the First Blush place striped. So that's really chic and cute. And then our Manchester pullover, which is our 3/4 zip pullover with the blue Velvet Morning. Yes. Velvet Morning blue place stripe. And that is just like a classic preppy pullover that's really cute for summer. I think I'll wear that all
this
summer.
Is a good drop.
I know.
I don't know. I was trying to think about what my favorite is. I like them all.
I know. So that's
Manchester
is
a great top.
Yes.
I think with the place stripe.
It's sold out now on the site. So that place stripe will be really cute.
Really popular. Yeah. And then the waffle, the Sabrina is in waffle, right?
Oh, yeah. The Sabrina is really cute.
That'll be good.
Yeah. These are all just really great for spring and summer. Just layers and things that I wear every day in the waffle and the terry fabric. I feel like that's kind of our go-to for the warmer months.
For the warmer months. It's still freezing now, though. I can't.
I know it's really cold, and it
will be warm soon.
It will, but we're kind of like just entering into the bad parts of winter, I guess. Anyway, so a lot of exciting drops coming up for Dudley. We have even more coming pretty much every week in February into March, and we're currently designing for fall and winter right now, which is nuts because we have to think so far in advance. And we had a fitting yesterday, and I think I've mentioned before, but I do the fit modeling, which is also kind of funny because you try everything on. I mean, 25 styles, I think, or no, maybe it was less because maybe it was like 20.
It was like 20,
we did. And it was a lot of like fall winter stuff for this year, which was fun. So
really exciting.
So that's.
You guys have any recommendations for next?
Yes,
I guess next winter at this point. Like
winter
dropping in October, November,
colors,
December.
Styles that you loved.
Yeah,
and because it's our 10-year, we're gonna do a little capsule collection where we're bringing back some of our favorite styles from throughout the years. So that'll be fun. So anything that you've worn before from us that you love that you might want to bring back, right?
Yeah.
Send us some
note. Recos.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Anyway, so we're kind of dropping all these things, but then also thinking about fall, winter. So, okay. So we were like going back and forth on what to discuss today. And we have some guest ideas in mind, but we always love when people send in questions and guests. So please keep sending those in. But today I wanted to talk about something that I think about constantly right now. And I feel like it's come up in little bits, since we've been doing the podcast, 10 episodes in, but, and it's something that I think in my head, and I almost like don't want to talk about it because I feel like I'm jinxing it, but I feel like in a way, modern women are figuring out how to like fool the system. And I mean by that, like working and being a mom at the same time and like doing more of both in a better way and being more present.
There is a way. There's so many more resources out there and opportunities for moms to continue to work.
Yes.
While also still playing
raising
mom.
kids and being the primary parent.
Yes.
Like not, the 9 to 5, 9 to 6 parent. Like they're there, but they're also still doing what they love to do, hopefully.
Right.
And I want to bring this up now because I feel like I want to continue that and like make it a positive thing and promote it amongst us women for the next generation. Because I think it's an awesome thing for us.
It is. It's also very stressful because you're also trying to do both things.
That was also okay. So you bring up a really good point. But what has prompted this is we went on the Momcast podcast with Demetra, and she quoted in one of her podcasts that modern working moms spend as much time caring for their kids today as stay-at-home moms did 30 years ago. Wow. So, which is like kind of mind-blowing to think about that here, which says a lot about women that we've kind of come.
We want to do it all.
We want to do it all. And we somehow are figuring out ways, and it's never going to be a perfect system, but we're trying to figure out ways where we maybe can do it all. And maybe it's possible. I don't know. And it's never going to be a balance of everything every day.
I mean, I've said this before, like I appreciate it so much because you have a bad work day and sometimes you have a great mom day.
Yes.
So it's like,
exactly. Yeah.
It's not a balance. It's a seesaw.
Yeah. It's a seesaw. That in the
last episode too.
Yeah. I love that.
But it's like, it gives you that chance to say like, okay, this was not a good work day, but now I have this whole other life when I get home with my parents as a parent with my kids. And I can be on for them.
Yes.
Or, and I just think that it's never going to be a balance, like you said, but it's nice to have both.
Yes.
That you
and
can
to have that
thrive
option
on one or the other or both.
Right.
Who knows what
exactly.
it is.
Yeah.
What the formula is.
Of course, it depends on your career and what your, office environment is like and what the, going in every day or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. But I think in some industries, it's possible to like have a more balanced approach to going into the office and being with your kids.
Yeah.
And as like people in our positions, like I just want to keep talking about that and keep that conversation going. And I know there's a lot in the news about going back to the office every day now and all that, but I don't know. I'm just finding it to be very enriching to be able to do both.
Right. And this isn't to say that every career is the same. I mean, I think, I have a close friend in finance and she's about to have a baby and is struggling kind of figuring out what she wants after the baby because she's having a baby later in life and she's built an amazing career,
so common
super successful.
Now. Yeah, that's like,
and she doesn't want that to erase. So she's going to continue in her career and
because
she's going to have to figure out the balance too.
Right.
But,
and maybe
I do think
working with your boss, but keep going.
Like there are some careers that the balance is a little bit more difficult to achieve, but there are other opportunities out there where you can achieve the balance. So it's about finding you and where also, you fit into the spectrum.
Yeah, exactly. To that point, like when the kids are so young too, like babies, I don't know. The phases of life require different things, right? Mm-hmm. And it just might be that I'm in this phase where they're in school from 8 to 4.
Yes.
And I have that chunk of time now, where baby's time, it's different. So it goes in all these different phases, I guess.
Totally. And I think that when you're in it, like in the infancy phase and in the toddler phase, when they're at preschool for like 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
You don't realize how short that phase is.
Yeah, right.
When
That's
you're
so
in
true.
It.
Oh my gosh,
and then once they go to elementary school when they're 5 or 6, you have more of the day.
Things open up.
Yeah,
it's really crazy. Yeah,
you can continue that career
back to,
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of figuring out that balance in the early years, and then
which is really hard. Really hard. Oh my gosh, it's so hard, and no one knows, and no one's prepared for it.
No,
and there's a different formula for every.
There is. I mean, yeah, totally.
I know. It's so true. So I think, and then, okay, so to bring up what you just made a good point of is like, is it putting too much on us? Which is also something to think about too. I don't know.
Right.
Are we taking on too much being a primary parent and trying to work and, be there all the time? I don't know. It could be. And there are times when I feel very overwhelmed and stressed.
Yeah. And sometimes I feel like I'm not doing either side good enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's like I could be doing more for work, or I could be doing more for my kids.
Yeah.
Or, so there's definitely a mom guilt factor into it.
There is.
But you have to kind of realize that you are doing both, and that's a benefit too.
Right. Yeah. And then also on that note too, maybe you don't want to work. And you want to be a stay-at-home mom, and that is afforded to you. You can do that. Like that also is wonderful and like very hard. And
yes,
I think I just have this, we have this company, and here we are trying to do both, you know? I don't know. It's an interesting, and I think there's other women in this situation, whether they're running a company, freelancing, going back into a career, cutting back hours so they can like, you know, better manage it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
And I think the remote working also, we've talked about this too.
Yes.
Has helped.
Yes.
A lot.
Yep.
Especially moms that kind of want to be there for drop off or, you know, kind of work their meetings around their kids' schedule a little bit.
And I just think it's so much more accepted now where a mom in a corporate job says, oh, my kid has a Christmas concert. You know, I'm going to go, it's at 9 and I'll be in at 10 or 11 or whatever.
Right.
That, I mean, I hope I get the sense that that's a lot more the norm now.
Totally. And I'm even seeing, I'm like, when I go to those things with my kids, I see a lot of dads there too. Like,
yes, so many dads.
Don't you? Like, it's more than it used to be.
Yeah. I know. That's so good. Yeah, it's so great. Mm-hmm. I know, like, Graham doesn't miss things. You know, he doesn't want to miss things, and he's a stressful job and whatever. I don't know. It's a lot. So I think that those things, I just love discussing them. And I wonder if this will bring up more conversation, you know, with our community, just that, like, how do we continue that conversation and keep talking about it so that women that are behind us, whether they're just having kids or about to, or they're trying to figure out what they want for their career, like they're in their 20s. I just think let's all keep thinking about that and keep thinking about what sort of balance you might want as a mom before you head in one direction or you go in the other, you know?
Yeah.
Those are big decisions to make.
Very. And you also don't know what you need before you have kids. I feel like
that's true.
It's really hard to understand and know where you want to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
no, it's so
kind of
true.
keeping the door open, your options open,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I think also, like, going, you know, speaking of Dudley Stephens, like, this is something that's been important to us since we started, because this is why one of the reasons why we started Dudley Stephens is to have that flexibility a little bit.
Yep.
So it's kind of important to us that our employees also are able to balance both as well.
Yeah.
As long as we're all working hard, but we can still be there for our parents. Why do I keep saying that? Our kids.
You're missing mom and dad in Florida, I think. No, I think it's like we need to all be there. And I don't know. It's funny how things are shifting a little bit. I feel like to the family focus. I don't know.
It is. Well, I also have, like, with the trad wife phenomenon,
so
like, I feel like people are, like, going backwards too a little bit.
Oh, like, God, what did that Erin Foster posted on Instagram? Did we talk about this, or maybe I told someone else that we're trad wives who work?
Yes. Yeah.
That made me laugh out loud. I was like, whoa, back to, like, or do we have too much going on? Like, we've now entered into this world where, like, everyone has to be a trad wife, like Martha Stewart doing all the things at home. Yeah. And then they have to work too and have a career. I don't know. It's
stressful.
Lot. I'm choosing non-trad wife.
I'm choosing, yes.
I'm not like the traditional.
I will go to the grocery store and buy my sourdough. I don't need to make it myself.
No. You know, I think I have so much respect for the women that can do that. I just can't. It's just not in my nature to, like, be that.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. There's different priorities in the house.
Totally.
But that's a thing where, like, everyone, women feel they have to do all.
I know. Well, I think it's like during, like, the feminist movements, like, it was like, we need to be out in the work world.
Yeah.
And now it's, like, going the opposite way.
Yeah.
It's like, funny. I want to be a trad wife.
I know. It's like they're trying to regain
Can we just go in the middle somewhere?
Yeah, just in the middle somewhere. Right. It's like the pendulum. Like, we're swinging back a little bit, and let's, like, pause there.
Yeah.
I know. And I feel like the trad wife, it's like, it's a lot. It's putting too much on women that are also working, I think.
Yes.
You can't do everything
like
that. Yeah.
I agree.
And like we keep saying, the kids are fine. They're good.
They're going to be okay.
When we're talking about this balance thing with working and momhood, it's more like being present for your kids. In my mind, it's not like making the dinners from scratch and all that. It's like picking them up at school at 4 o'clock and, like, being in the car with them. Like, those little simplify those little simple things, not complicated mom stuff. Like, just literally being there for them, and even to talk to them.
During the work week, I'm like, I don't know what to make for dinner. Okay. Chicken nuggets tonight.
It's just,
and they love it.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone's happy. Everybody is happy. And I feel so. Actually, on the one of the other podcasts I was interviewed at the end of last year, I think it was A Day in Her Life. one of the things that she asked was, what do you outsource? Because we need to outsource stuff to do all this, right?
Yeah,
like, especially with our husbands commuting into New York City. Like, we don't have enough hands and adult supervision to get it all done. And one of the things that we've been doing in our house, which is so amazing, is having a friend who's a teacher and tutor come over and do homework with my kids one night a week.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, it's like a hack that has really helped me with homework, because George's homework is getting more intense.
Right. I know. And I mean, I feel like those are always the arguments with the kids. Like,
reading, do your reading.
And then if you like try to help them, they're like, no, that's not, like, math is totally different now.
Yeah.
They have like different strategies and everything.
I can't figure it out. It's so hard.
They're like, no, that's not how you do it. Like, so it's good to have an outside person help with that.
I know. I mean, it is so game changing for me every week to have Krista, our good friend, sit down and do the kids' homework with them. And, you know, it just takes one stress thing off for me every week. So I don't know if there's little things like that you can outsource as a mom who's working and momming. I think those things are so helpful.
I mean, I think laundry. I don't want to do laundry on the weekends.
Well, that in this study that said that working moms today spend more time than stay-at-home moms, then the study went into, well, what are they cutting out then? And it was housework that we were trying to cut back on and outsource.
Right.
So that we can
if you're
spend more
working
time
all the week or the whole week, and then you're with your kids, you don't want to spend time doing that on the weekends.
No. Yeah. It's really helpful to have that, to have someone come and help do laundry and tidy up the house is like major also.
Yeah. Huge.
But yeah, and childcare, like you and I both have had nannies and that and all that. And it goes in phases too with that, whether they're babies and you need more or now you need less, like, you know, or daycare. I have friends that have, you know, their children in daycare, and that's also such a nice option too. So
right. I know we have a part-time nanny because my 4-year-old goes to preschool for 2 hours a day, or 2.5 hours. So I kind of need one.
It's like not even school.
Yeah, it's not even school.
3 hours.
But where he goes, that you can tack on like a lunch bunch and like soccer after lunch bunch. Yeah. They also have daycare there too. So it's nice to have those options.
Extend it. Yeah.
But our nanny also helps with the laundry and that sort of thing too. So
and driving, because you have 3 kids. So like all these activities, you know. That was the other thing I heard on Instagram too. Someone say, a mom blogger, that, you know, back in the times where this study was comparing it to, like the 60s, kids were doing less, presumably, like not as many sports after school or activities. And they were like just out in the neighborhood playing with other children, which is also why moms didn't spend as much time as now, because now we have so many activities. So we're driving them everywhere. We're going to baseball on Monday night at 7 p.m., you know? And so we're just with them more. And so that whole dynamic has changed too. So it's not like you can say to your children today, oh, just go out and play with Johnny down the street. Like that doesn't, maybe that happens. I'm sure that happens. That happens in a lot of neighborhoods in Greenwich too. So, you know, that does happen. But like now Johnny has hockey, soccer, baseball every night, and he's not always available either. So, you know, your kids, like we're paying for our kids to like interact with other kids now. Yeah. As opposed to
just going out in the neighborhood.
Going out and having this free play. Yeah. I don't know what's better or not. I think we said on one of the podcasts that for us, staying busy was what defined us in our childhood. So I'm all about the activities and the sports.
Well, they are like glorified play dates, right? I mean,
Yes, exactly.
They see their friends, they get some energy out.
They make friendships.
Learn how to work with people. And I don't know, I think it's beneficial. But there is that. Okay, now right after school, we have to go to tutoring. We have to go to lacrosse. We have swim. I don't know. Yeah. My kids are very busy as well, but
we like stack their calendars.
You need to be there because it's not just a one-person job anymore. You need
you need to be 2 people. You somehow need to split yourself in half because someone has the same pickup or drop off.
Find a carpool with friends.
Carpool is what I lean on a lot now. I know. It's not. There isn't like a free night typically. Last night on Tuesdays we don't have any sports, and the kids were jumping off the wall last night at 8:30.
Oh my gosh.
So I was looking around like, oh my God. And my daughter like needs to go to bed. She's not a good morning person. So I was like, tomorrow's going to be a disaster now.
Right.
I mean, maybe these sports are good. Like, I don't know, it's winter. There's nothing else to do. You know, can't just like go outside and ride a bike. Like they're inside. Right. I don't know.
I know. I find that too. I like go back and forth with the mom guilt. Like tonight, I think we have like 3 things each with the 2 older kids.
Yeah.
So they're going to go back to back to back until bedtime, basically, which is a lot. And so I'm always thinking about that. But then on the flip side, you're right. Like if they don't have these,
so much energy,
and they're also like moody. I don't know. Yeah. I do feel like
it doesn't channel it well. Yeah. Sometimes they don't channel it well.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
They're like bored Restless. And they don't know what to do. And they can't.
And then they're home just asking for a screen, an iPad. And you're like, oh God. And that's just a whole other, we could have a whole other podcast about that. But yeah, I don't know. So I think that this whole, moms today are just dealing with so many different things. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what moms in 20 years will have to deal with, but I think it's important to keep talking about it and acknowledging that, to be a mom now is so much different. And there's so many different, and because of social media and technology, like she can do more, Yeah. And so let's support that.
Right.
When she can, during school hours or whatever it is.
But don't judge her if she doesn't make her own sourdough.
Yeah. Definitely do not judge if we're not making sourdough or what else? What else do Chad always do? I don't even know. Was the sourdough really just sticks in my mind?
Yeah. I don't know. John and I talked about getting a chicken coop. Yeah. Over the Christmas break.
Yeah.
And then he was like researching how much work it is. And he's like, no, I think we're good just buying our eggs at the grocery store.
You guys have like a little garden though in the summer.
We do have a little garden in the summer. Yeah. And impressive. That's like his whole hobby.
And you guys do it all yourself. Like it's really impressive. But no one comes in and like does it. It's good. Yeah.
I mean, we kind of have learned the easier things to grow,
but that's and
it's things that our kids enjoy eating too. So it's fun. It's fun for them to go pick the veggies out off the plants or whatever. And
I don't know. I don't think we're ever gonna. I think we're not in the vegetable garden family, but I wish we were because you always like send on our family stream your salads and like the things you guys are making, and I'm like, that looks so good. I'm so impressed.
It's fun. I wish we could grow like raspberries. Maybe I'll look into that. Oh yeah. Have you seen those memes that it's like if your kid likes raspberries, I'm sorry because it's like so expensive and you eat them in like one sitting.
I bought a thing of raspberries and George ate the whole thing in one night. Yeah. He just went in the kitchen and took out the thing and went and sat down and ate. I was like, well, what? Whoa. Yeah. So that's a very good point.
Yeah.
You should definitely look into growing raspberries if it's easy. I feel like that would be so good.
Or strawberries. Yeah. Strawberries last a little bit longer.
You got a little trad wife in you.
A little bit, maybe.
You're going to try to do sourdough.
No, but this is all John. This is John.
Right, actually. Yeah. The trad husband. Is that a term? Do people say that? You know what? That's wrong.
Yeah.
Such a double standard. There should be such thing, right? Why do we get targeted, right? Like the man, there's usually a guy helping out in there. It's not just the wife, only the wife. Anyway, that's so funny. Well, I look forward to your garden this summer. And
we're going to start planning that.
Yeah, I know. It's so fun. You and John too, like, are so good at like home, like.
Well, he's very DIY.
Yeah.
Like he has a construction background.
You guys at some point will like be home renovators or something and have like a show.
Watch out, Joanna Gaines. I'm coming for you.
I'm going to promote that. I'm just going to keep manifesting that and like maybe it'll happen. Because you guys are so good at it. John could literally build it himself. Like,
I mean, we'll like think we had like, for example, we'll like think something up and then the next day it's like started. Like a while ago, we had a bathroom that was dividing our kitchen and our family room. And we're like, wouldn't that be great if that just moved to this like coat closet across the way so that it was out of the middle of everything? Literally the next day he had a hammer and was demoing the bathroom.
I know. I don't know how he does. I mean, I know how he does it. He can do it, but it's really impressive.
But then I'm like, but we don't even have like, cause he does a lot of the demo work and he can build things, but he doesn't like to do the finishing, like the painting and
he wants
it to look nice. Yeah. So he'll hire someone to come in to do that.
Yeah. But like the construction and the measurements and the math behind all that, he does all that. Yeah.
But sometimes he starts the demo and I'm like, well, we don't have this stuff lined up. So then we end up looking at the demo for a little while before we can get someone
staring
there.
At it. Yeah. Oh man. Well, it's really impressive. I'm going to keep manifesting that in the universe because you guys would be so good at it.
It would be fun. Sure.
Anyway, so a little trad wife in you. I love that. But yeah, so I think that, And I say that in my head a lot, fooling the system, because sometimes I feel very grateful for what we have and thinking like, oh my gosh, like this is a great setup. And how do I help other women get this set up? You know, like how do we, and I think talking about it and encouraging people to have those hard conversations of like, what does it look like to be there for your kids? And then also, you know, keep doing something that you love or passion or work, you know, and do
side
both.
Hustle.
Yeah. A side hustle.
I agree. I'm very grateful for it. Like we're in a very good spot.
Yeah.
It does come with its stress and everything as well.
It does. So but that's the beauty of having kids.
Yeah.
It's like feeling those moments of stress.
Right.
When they're like literally bouncing off the walls at 8:30 last night. Gosh. Like it was so loud, just the two of them. And then at the
I went to bed by 8 last night.
Oh, I did not.
Well, James was not. He has a little cough and a cold, so I was like, let's go up. And I was like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with
I'm
James.
gonna deal with this one. You guys are good. Yeah. No, I was not in bed early last night, but and then right when I said, okay, it's time to go to bed, they were like, let's wrestle. I was like, oh no. No, it's just time to get in bed. Man. Anyway, but yeah, there's a lot to be said about that, the system and how it's set up, and how we as moms and women doing what we're doing can encourage and just keep that discussion going of like, how do we try to have kids and have a career?
Do it all?
Yeah. How do we do it all? I don't know. With help and a wonderful husband. I think our husbands help a lot.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Yeah. And, you know, trying to have the right priorities and really paring back things that aren't serving us, I think, too.
By
simplifying. It just goes back to that.
Really
it keeps going back to that. And I love that. Anyway, okay, so our no drop next week, but then the 28th we kick back up with all those fun place stripes, the stripes and waffle, which is so great. So
we'll
get
shop
in on it.
Our turtleneck sale.
Yes.
If you haven't
check out
already.
The sale. Yep. Happy Martin Luther King Day. And if you guys have any suggestions for questions or episode topics, continue to send them in. We have a few in the
a few
queue.
Guest ideas too.
Yes.
So we'll try to schedule those. And
and then rate and review and let us know what you think of the podcast, because we're having so much fun. And I love discussing topics like this.
I know. Our weekly therapy.
It is our weekly therapy. It's joyful for us. It's very fun. Okay. On that note, we'll sign off and happy Monday.
Yes. Thanks, everyone.